Welcome to the show, Michael. Michael is an SEO expert in New Jersey. I produce videos. I also produce TV shows here in New York City. The goal of this blab is to really get some updates about the SEO scene, and I'm really curious to hear from Michael. First of all, Michael, introduce yourself and how do you describe yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Michael Tesalona, and I'm the owner of Bradford and Crabtree. And we're a boutique marketing agency that's focused exclusively on search engine optimization. So there's a lot of changes that happen in the SEO world because it's constantly adjusting and constantly responding to changes in the search algorithm. So Google, Yahoo, and Bing, they have all these PhDs working around the clock to make sure that the Google search results are constantly relevant and just stronger than ever. And as an SEO, I help clients climb in those rankings. And so because Google is changing the way that they determine those rankings, I need to adjust my practices.
Right. What is the biggest misconception about SEO nowadays that you find?
I think the biggest misconception is that probably the fact that you can get it for $200. Really. Well, the reason why I say that is because we in the industry, there was this huge update that happened with Google about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Prior to this update, SEO companies were able to really do a lot of their work just with the use of software tools. So they would use a piece of software that would just overnight get 50,000 links for their clients. And this would be like on forums and blog posts. And, it would be completely automated. But Google was able to say, like, this is wrong. This is not something that should be affecting our rankings. And, prior to that, since these companies were using software, they were able to, charge much lower prices. But as SEO has gotten more sophisticated, the people who are able to do it more effectively need to use different techniques. And because of that, the prices have increased.
The title of the show is "What I Hate About SEO," and I think it's a pretty nice way to really introduce those changes you're talking about. So tell us, what specifically do you hate about SEO?
Well, what I really hate about SEO is most of people's perception about it. You ask somebody what do they think about an SEO company, and they'll say slimy, scammy, they don't deliver, things like that. And there's a really, really good reason for that. There's a ton of agencies out there who, they haven't adjusted. They're using the same techniques that were around 2 years ago. They're relying on software tools that, at best won't work. And at worst will actually harm a client's website and actually get them delisted from Google. You have all these people who are getting delisted from Google, people who have, websites that are making money, that are, earning them a good living. They've got they're paying their mortgage with the money that they're getting from their websites, and they get the wrong SEO company behind them, and then it's all gone. It's all gone. So that's one of the biggest things.
What would be a telltale sign that a SEO person I'm hiring is off the mark, that is not focusing the right thing? Are there ways for us customers to see that?
Well, see, that's the biggest challenge. I mean, Alex, how would you know if you had a really good brain surgeon?
Well, it would I would look at their track record, obviously, their reputation, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if the changes you're talking about just happened 2 years ago, people might have been really good at what they did 2 years ago, but not anymore.
Yeah. So I mean, that's exactly right. And that's the biggest challenge because, we basically found out you can't audit the person's work because I'm a brain surgeon. I can't tell how good this brain surgeon is. I can't audit his work. And I'm I mean, well, luckily, like the brain, the architecture of that isn't changing too much. But what you can do is actually look at their rankings. I think that's quite honestly the best way, because
Makes sense.
yeah, the truth is, a good SEO can hide its tracks. So I can create a link for a client, and I can install a piece of software on that website that will completely block all the bots except for Google bots. So basically, nobody would know where that link is coming from. So it's almost impossible to audit any SEO's work. Like it's funny. I was at a marketing panel the other day, and somebody started asking me questions about like the techniques that I use. And I said, I'm like, do you think you can audit an SEO company? And they're like, yeah, you can just ask them. And I'm like, I'm an SEO, and I know that I cannot audit another SEO company. Like, to a certain extent I can, but you can you can just cover up all of your tracks. It's very, very simple to cover your tracks in this world. So the only surefire way of knowing if somebody is actually doing a good job is that you have to look at their company. You have to look at their company,
their own ranking,
and see where they rank. Exactly. See if they rank for a competitive term, because every single great SEO that I know ranks well for a very difficult term.
So, for example, where do you rank right now?
We rank for NJ SEO, for New Jersey SEO, SEO New Jersey, like all those different variations.
You rank pretty much at the top.
Yeah. And so it changes. So a few weeks ago we were like number 2. I think we're at like maybe number 5 or number 6.
It varies. I mean, it's like day-to-day thing, or
it'll fluctuate from week to week. So what Google does, so this is actually something most people don't know, is like Google will actually split test the first page results. So what it means is they'll artificially move, say you're number 1, for a certain term, they'll bring you down to like number 5 for a week, just to see if the person who's number 1 has higher engagement on their site than you did. So what they want to measure is, all right, so people go to your site, are they clicking around? Are they staying for a while? Are they watching the videos? I mean, that's one reason why video is so important for SEO purposes. So, what they'll do is they'll move you around for a week, then they'll jump you up, or they'll try to find out like what website was able to capture people's attention for the longest. And typically they'll have that one go up to be number 1.
So you mentioned video. Obviously, I pick up on that. I produce videos for the web, PR, and marketing purposes. The staying power, is that a really critical aspect of a website?
Yeah, it's huge. I tell my clients, look, we got you. Before I bring on a client, I tell them like, look, the expectations is this is going to take a few months, and also we're going to get you to the top 5. And after we get to that,
just announce you're going to be on the top 5.
That's typically the results that we get. And
wow.
But after that, I tell them, it's like, look, if we're on the first page and we're like hitting number 7, I'll tell them like, look, honestly, I think we've done about as much as we can do right now. And if you want to get any additional push, what I'd recommend you do is invest in video. Invest in conversion rate optimization. Figure out a way to get people to stay on your site longer. Because you're already on the first page, you're already getting that traffic. But if at that point you can invest in other parts of digital marketing to keep people on your site, that's going to do wonders for pushing you up, from the number 5 spot to the number 3 to the number 1 spot.